almost like I saw something earlier. Anivia and Zyra, the first
yeah, you were
from
cheating.
CLG.
Zyra going to be right behind him, though. So that means that CLG, to me, these two bans, these are two very good counter initiation champions. So CLG looks like they really want to go hard initiation, I think. They're going to try and run at Echo Fox. This is just looking at the bans, though. We'll see, you know, how that draft phase fills out. As far as Echo Fox, though, ban out that Trundle, which I think is the best top laner right now. I'm just one of those guys that likes to win lane, though. So I'm big on the Trundle and transitioning into split push. But the Ashe as well, going to, you know, be one of those tools of initiation that's been really popular lately.
Yeah, almost every AD carry's picking that one up. There is Vladimir, the last ban from CLG. Ryze actually the last ban from Echo Fox, so attention towards some of those majors. But Azir will be the first pick here. Always a contentious champion for Huhi, but he's made it work time and time again.
Yeah, and the nerfs to Azir recently slightly hit him, but people not shying away from the champion at all. You know, just his ultimate lasts a little bit shorter. You know, maybe if you miss your ultimate on Azir, then it will last less time, and people will remember that you missed it a little less.
Some positives, perhaps. There's Echo Fox, Irelia, and Rek'Sai, two very standard picks there for the top lane. And jungle, in fact, they're cooperating. KFO and Hard effectively picking their own champions here to start their side of the draft.
Yep, everybody in the top lane. Zakari top laner nowadays in the North American LCS, and Irelia extremely popular here. I am curious to see what the counter pick will be from CLG, because we have also seen a resurgence of Gnar, and a long time ago, Gnar actually was quite good against Irelia. You just have to be wary of your positioning and don't be close to ranged minions, which you can use to reset and then close the gap after you jump. But other than that, he has been another champion that's been used. The Shen that everyone's talking about, I'm definitely not sold on. It's lost every single game versus Irelia so far, and I just have not seen why people are really considering that a counter, or if they even are. You know, it very well could be coincidence, and people are just, you know, connecting the dots there, where it's just correlation.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the theory maybe not so good in practice. Shen not doing so well so far. Kindred and Alistar, though, the picks for CLG.
Yeah, I actually like the Kindred pick here from Xmithie. A lot of people have been shying away from it. You know, in competitive, it's really dropped off. A lot of people letting it through bans as well as not even picking it at all in the game, but still think Kindred is extremely strong. And I'm excited to see, you know, what Xmithie can do with it. Last time I saw him have it, they got 3 early kills. Rek'Sai, though, much more reliable, so you can see why Fox early round picked that, and Fox with some more long-range picks. This is actually a combo that I love. Bard and the Jhin. So much long-range pick. You have a lot of crowd control from your bottom lane and the ability to set up plays if the enemy team especially does not have, you know, true tanks.
Yeah, definitely seeing Ashe Ryze and then Jhin sort of behind her slowly as people have discovered, hang on, it's pretty good, especially into the likes of the shorter carries like Sivir. Jaxo will be the pick once more for Darshan. Played it a few times already as Stixxay goes back to the Trist.
All right.
Real classic CLG.
Yeah, I was going to start talking about the Jax, but the Trist lock-in, getting Rage Blade flashbacks here. I don't think it's going to do it. The new Rage Blade, it'll be more of a standard build Trist going into crit, but this CLG lineup looks like, you know, classic. They want Darshan to split push. He's taking the Jax. Jax into Irelia is kind of a similar idea to Shen. Shen, you're trying to use the dodge zone to dodge when Irelia pops her W for the extra true damage. Jax also has that dodge that he's going to try and use, but this much more contentious matchup between Jax and Irelia, and I do expect either lane swap or a lot of intervention from junglers in that lane. Man, would a Katarina make this match hype, but I very, very seriously doubt it.
Teasing us a little bit. I think he's going to play Victor. No! Locks in Brand.
He's one of those guys. Froggen has played a lot of Brand right
in his lifetime.
Yeah, well, before the reworks, you know, after the touches to mages, yeah, he's this big fan of the champion, and I really want to see if he can actually bully this Azir because Brand, yes, you can get in there for the harass, you know, and you want to make use of the passive, you know, get a bunch of spell penetration and try and keep Azir burning down. But you have to walk up to do that and put yourself not only in range of the soldiers, but also in range of, you know, early Kindred ganks. They still are very potent if you don't have your Rek'Sai there to help guard you.
Certainly can see it all coming together perhaps for Echo Fox. We got some juicy potential between Bard, Kindred, and Brand, all with a bunch of AoE. We'll see how Froggen navigates it, so he's not going to take a standard matchup this time. I like it.
That's the other thing about the Brand pickup, you know, so much AoE for those team fights bouncing around. I do like that against Kindred, because you just get everyone low instead of bursting one single target. You know, then the Kindred ult goes down, but everybody's scrambling for their lives.
Well, we'll see if it works out, but we are looking for you to show your team colors on Twitter. Let us know who you're rooting for with the hashtag CLG win or the hashtag FOX win. What a fun way to start the day. CLG with Echo Fox game number 1. CLG, we've seen it a lot, going back to basics a lot, kind of playing the champions that were known for in spring at MSI. Echo Fox, though, they needed something a little different. Jhin and Brand, definitely some standout picks here as they're kind of moving more comfortably into 6-11.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see, you know, how this Echo Fox combo works out. There are a lot of plays that can be made with the Jhin Bard trying to set things up, and they've got plenty of damage from their solo laners. Something you talked about in the intro to the game was solo laners for Fox trying to carry the game. Irelia and Brand definitely have pretty good mid-game power spikes to try and do that. You know, Trinity Force and then Ryze for Brand.
Well, everyone's going to move out. CLG actually 4-man strong on top of a ward. There's the last auto. Xmithie. First blood. It's a Trinket ward. They're going to move through and get some vision down. You mentioned lane swaps in Champ Select. Could see that here, so get that vision down.
Looks like they are trying to get the deep board to check it out at least.
Let's get some surveillance going.
Everybody gonna mirror though. Now we got to see, you know, how do you try and sneak them past the wards to walk to lane. As of right now, Irelia already passed the line, so KFO will just stick up there probably.
Yep, chilling out. It's on the wrong side of the jungle too, if there is going to be a swap, but CLG hanging out mid lane for now. KFO is going to wander towards that top lane.
CLG won't be getting any more information, so they just have to make the call right now to try and go for it. I think they are going to make it, and Stixxay, actually they're waiting dead middle until they see the information to try and go for it.
Looks like Stixxay's going to head there.
They can try and assume top and send him up there.
KFO doing a good job hiding. Stixxay actually going to help Xmithie, so the AD carry helping the jungler early on.
Jax is going for an early gank mid. They have 3 people surrounding mid lane.
This is very cheeky.
Does Darshan have stun? I mean,
no,
he
doesn't
can
have
layer that
anything yet.
stun. Yeah, he can level up the dodge if aphromoo wanted to combo, but they give up. Froggen playing too safe for their likes. They thought he would try and bully early with the Brand, like we're talking about, you know, get that passive burn, but he does not go for it. And CLG a bit slow to this lane swap.
Hello! Darshan visits KFO. He's gonna hit him! Takes a tower hit, and KFO's like, I don't think so. Blade Surge is on top, but here's aphromoo. This would be quite an ambitious dive. KFO, where do you go?
Cornered him. He's got nowhere to go.
And Kindred's coming as well.
Even if he tries to teleport.
Peace!
Okay, they're gonna let him go. It would be very risky to go in there with the level 1. Flash for the knockups to get it, but CLG, let's see what they do with this teleport advantage, because they were a bit slow in the lane swap since they went for the mid lane play there, and they're going to be slightly behind on tempo just because everyone's a bit under leveled.
Yeah, normally see this between 3 and 330 as far as your first towers go, so we'll keep track of that. Trist, though, pretty good at knocking them down, so CLG not having too much trouble. And Echo Fox, very cute from CLG early on, but they do escape with no kills so far, just the KFO teleport as Froggen happily farming under this turret for now. Xmithie, though, jungling on his side of the jungle now.
Yeah, and you know, teleports this early on to lane swap games, they're easily recovered, usually. So we'll see if CLG can actually make use of this window, because it's just a level 1 Jax that has the advantage for the teleport, but might not get a chance to use it. And fervor for everyone.
Yep. Wow.
On CLG, yeah. Jax, obviously, you know, those auto attack based champions, they've got 3 of them for CLG, so it's nothing crazy, but the double death fire is also common for Fox just because Jhin, pretty much the lone AD carry. I guess you could put Varus in there as well, but he's more of a mid laner as far as AD carry champions that take death fire touch.
Taking that blue. Doesn't give it over this time. Froggen actually busy recovering from base. There's a second door into a ward and potion now, so making sure he stays nice and safe. Doesn't want to get roamed on again. CLG did beat Echo Fox to that first turret by about 30-40 seconds, but Echo Fox not too late on the rest of the play.
And Darshan actually gets to stay up in that lane a little bit longer, so he's got a tiny gold lead over KFO. However, he's down on experience because of the mid lane play. Even though he's been able to collect that gold by sticking around a little bit longer, being down a level early stages can really hurt sometimes. He's able to soak up the rest of it right there, though. And since they're sending Irelia top, it looks like it will at least be an attempt at the second turret being traded. Darshan can use the teleport to join, remember. He's evening everything back up, so CLG doing just fine. There it is, the teleport. They gain some extra time on the turret with it as well, making it vulnerable. So all is right for the top laners, and everybody pretty much even after the lane swap.
Yeah, nice early game plan from CLG. Didn't seem to cost them too much. That sort of ironed out that early game. So Echofox did a good job not taking the bait and getting themselves killed. Tristana, of course, always good in any sort of turret push, as Stixxay doing work as Echofox. Looks like they'll have a pretty similar time.
And we always do have to mention there's a Kindred in the game. In a lane swap, Xmithie was able to get his first mark, so he got 1 mark early on. That's always good for the Kindred team, and even more necessary for Kindred after the nerfs to her, him, they, because you get extra damage on your Dance of Arrows with every Kindred mark, trying to make up for the base damage that was taken off from it. And we'll keep track of that. Next one that spawns is in the Wraith camp of Fox, so it'll be a little bit more difficult for him. And we'll see if Hard, goes to clear that out early or actually leaves it up to try and delay that stacking for Kindred.
Yep, on the Wolf camp right now as everyone's just kind of going to reset. CLG did push through the bottom lane, but didn't dare try and take that tower out. So it looks like we'll swap back to standard lanes, although Echofox are missing a turret. Did not get the top lane out of.
Yeah, we saw them, get chased off of that turret on the last push, and they decided not to stick around. They actually swapping Jhin down bottom lane, keeping it to catch that wave. So it's going to mean turret advantage translating into gold advantage for CLG. And that is also going to mean that Darshan has a turret at his back, making it a little bit safer, but the minion wave pushing away.
We'll take these creeps as they come in, try and last hit them as late as he can. But KFO not too worried, actually just going to hit the recall button, go back, probably get himself a few more early items, and then return to the eventual 1v1, although it does have to be careful, because Darshan will have a lead right now. aphromoo looking to maybe get himself around Summoner's Rift. He's on the bottom side river right now, as Big's going to clear out a CLG pink ward. Cloud Drake, sorry, is up. But no team's leaping straight for it, and looks like we are just settling in for a few minutes of farming. Perhaps CLG, they're sitting up 1,000 gold. Can't be too disappointed with how this game has started.
Yep, no, and the top lane might be the only place for CLG that they're a little bit dangerous. That's why Xmithie, he went up and he walked through the brush on the side of the top lane to try and back up Darshan, as Darshan's making a push to try and get this minion wave all the way into turret. They don't want to let it freeze. Here comes Xmithie for a little extra damage. They see an opening and get a flash.
Yep, good equilibrium strike flash from KFO, but easy summoner force for Xmithie. Level 6 on the Kindred right now. He's been power farming in the early stages of that lane swap. aphromoo threatening Keith and Big. They'll pop through the magical journey and get themselves back to safety, as Stixxay can't really help but push the lane. Does have that pickaxe though, but probably not.
Yeah, it's actually such a smart move by CLG, committing up to that top side. I mean, the turret was really low on their side to almost go down, but they get this minion wave all the way into the turret, plus some extra damage on it. Irelia is amazing at CSing under turret, but even so, KFO does miss out on a couple there.
Pretty impressive display though. Serves through a bunch of minions in top lane. So it should be okay to catch up. So Huhi just pushing in. Froggen not able to get too much traction in the mid lane so far, as Darshan and Xmithie going to go for this red buff steal. Now Hard though in the area, looking to maybe contest, but Hui's rotated up. That's a smite down, and Xmithie nabs the camp for himself, continuing to sort of get a tiny lead in this jungle matchup.
Yeah, all of this control really snowballing off of that fact that Echofox were not able to take down the top side turret in the lane swap as well. It will go down very quickly if they're able to push back out and just get one person over there, because it's at low HP, but CLG are not giving them the opportunity to do that. They push in really hard, take control of that red quadrant jungle, and there's no opportunity for Hard to go steal the CLG red quadrant either. So they're actually making a move right now. And they cancel it. They're not even going to attack the bottom lane.
Yep, looking for blue buffs right now. Froggen, they're going to clear out that Kindred mark on the Scuttle Crab, so Xmithie will miss out on 2 and 3. Lost the one at the Raptor camp, will lose that one now as Froggen takes it. Blue buff Also getting traded over to both these mid laners. Froggen going to collect his, who he got his about 20 seconds ago. See the brown passive burning down, able to take that. It's hard. Going to take a trip back. See what he can collect for himself at the shop, as once again, settling in for a bit of a longer one here, at least in the early laning phase.
Oh man, this is such a good situation for Darshan. Look at the position here. There's no turret for Fox. They have to send up their duo lane to shove this in, or else Darshan will get a freeze indefinitely up in this top side. He already has the lead, and now he can just prune this wave right in front of his turret. And Echo Fox are going to have to force CLG's hand somewhere on the map, either push in on this lane or try and make a play somewhere else. But CLG are beating them to the punch. They take the dragon and they have a top lane freeze.
Well,
this is actually ridiculous macro play right here. Even though nobody's dying, CLG are crushing Echo Fox in the macro play right now. And they're just stalling out, stealing away a couple of measly jungle camps here. Very, very big pull away here from CLG in the mid game.
Well, Afro's put it hard. Might be enough. No, just collapses the tunnel. Hard gonna burrow his way out. Actually burns the flash Afro.
Oh.
Stunned into the wall by the Bard.
So all they get is Gromp, and they have to burn a flash for it. CLG get the first Drake. CLG have a freeze for Jax. Here comes Jhin, and they're gonna try and push it up to the turret, but it's been done a lot of work for him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, down bottom lane, you know, Irelia is pretty threatening right now, even though KFO doesn't have the Sheen. Just with the Phage right there, poses a lot of threat to a single AD carry, but aphromoo is going to join Stixxay, and they'll clean that wave up as well.
I think that's
This turret's going to go down.
gets dive boarded. Yeah, looks like turret just needs a few more shots. Keep one more bullet. Does do it. And that's the trade that Fox was looking for earlier. So kind of riding that early wrong. Now everything back in balance and gold. Certainly reflecting that straight back to even.
Yeah, everything back in balance as far as gold is concerned. But remember how big of a play that was for CLG to get the dragon while they were freezing. A whole Drake up for CLG at this point. Won't mean a lot as far as in-combat stats, just because it is that Cloud Drake. But they're still feeling pretty good about getting that one without any real cost to them.
Yep.
Both minion waves being pushed into the turrets for the top laners.
They'll take it. As Keith and Big still pushing. Darshan hanging back. Doesn't want to get towered over here. As Hard's actually in the area. Slowed down there from Cosmic Binding, as that will be the magical journey out of there. And Infernal Drake is the next one, so combat stats certainly available from that one. See if CLG are able to get it quite as easily as the first one. So do have a look once again into mid lane. Froggen with the Morello Nomicon finished already. Huhi trying to dodge out, but there's the ulti in. Xmithie taking a look for a gank on mid lane. Froggen gonna try and turn it around, but the exhaust is down, and first blood goes to Kindred.
What a clean Azir sec from Huhi. You know, you got a lot of scrutiny at MSI for those plays, but he makes it on Froggen. Froggen doesn't even burn the flash as he sees Huhi coming in. I think you just have to respect an Azir flying at your face at this stage in the game, you know, especially as Brand. And Huhi makes the move first with the soldiers. As soon as you see him come in like that, I think you just pop the early flash. Froggen does not respect him, and he pays the price as Xmithie on the Kindred gets the first blood. That's going to do a lot to snowball. aphromoo gets caught, and he's only level 5.
Yeah, no ulti, that's not a good time. Unbara's there, but Afro going to turn things around. Xmithie and Huhi here as Stixxay jumps in. Everyone's here as Darshan gets a stun down. Huhi claims it onto Hard.
Everyone from CLG is here. 3-man invade there from Fox. They're going to pay the price with the death of their jungler, as well as a Rift Herald buff in this 1-versus-1 split push top laner matchup that will probably be given to Darshan. Oh, Keith wants to harass them while they're on it. Better block aphromoo. He is low health.
Ooh! Gets out from under it. Rift Herald does get the CLG.
They accidentally, I think Xmithie accidentally walked over it. Darshan had paused on it. You know, accident, you know, sorry, not sorry. Jungler stole the Rift Herald. It is good on the jungler. I definitely like it a lot on him, just because it helps, you know, clear. You are alone as well, and you can come in for ganks with it. But I really expected them to give that and put more of an effort into giving that to Darshan, so that he can go versus this Irelia, who is pretty even in CS and just going for the Trinity Force rush. This race towards Trinity Force for both of the split pushing top laners, but Xmithie's gonna take it away. He got the first blood. He's got the Rift Herald. He's set up to carry this game. The last time he had Kindred, he did just that. So we'll see if he is able to take this into his own hands, or Darshan will be berating him after the game.
I think he was just a panic with the Jhin ulti, but...
I mean, you could just walk over that buff and oopsies, took it.
Oh, sorry. Path over it accidentally. It's okay, though, as CLG are going to full-man push down this mid lane. Stixxay, good damage there with the Berserker Root and the 2 AD items early on. Darshan, they're getting chunked out. Brand passive, not going to tick down, but good damage onto the Jax. He's going to have to back away and return to farm another lane. CLG not done just yet. Going to try and knock this down, but looks like enough members of Fox here are ready to defend, although that tower getting too low.
Tristana and Azir, two of the best tower-taking champions. Oh wait, Azir, this is the post-nerf Azir.
Yes.
You can't quite drop the soldiers on there. He's still decent at it. And Tristana will make up a big portion of that turret destruction.
Certainly not the poke still. So Echo Fox got chunked out a little too much in that siege. CLG actually pinned the mid outer surprisingly easily as Xmithie. That's very stylish.
Slick.
Yeah, vaults over the wall.
Backflip over the wall for the fadeaway steal. And a pretty calm game, honestly, for CLG. If you're here in the studio now, everybody listening to them. No yelling going on from either side. It's been pretty calm macro decisions where CLG have come out ahead. Besides the early mistake there from Echo Fox where they got caught out.
And this has maybe been a good moment to have a look back at Echo Fox's games already earlier in the season. They've definitely felt like if they haven't got a lead or stayed even towards that mid and late game, that they do struggle a bit to move around the map and make some plays. We'll see if they can change it. They've got plenty of playmaking champions.
Yeah, we're hyping up this bottom lane of the Jhin and Bard for their long-range playmaking abilities. Echo Fox still very much, only 2,000 gold. That's not the widest of margins. That is bordering on the very difficult to come back from area this early in the game, but they still can easily make a big play, especially around a dragon if CLG converge. Big gets caught out a little bit, but no commitment.
Just a combo there from Afro. Does not ulti out of that. Takes a big chunk of damage there from Froggen. Huhi going to take out the pink quads here. CLG are in position to defend for this Infernal Drake. Looks like they just want to shove mid, get a bit more pressure going down that lane. And Xmithie actually now moving into that dragon area. He'll start cleaning out all of Echo Fox's well-earned wards. It looks like a tricky defense here around this Drake. Xmithie's actually just going to straight up start it.
Yep, CLG in the driver's seat here, going to start it up. And Xmithie, because he has Hunter's Potion ticking as well as being Kindred, it's to tank it by himself without taking too much damage. Hard to won't even go in for the steal. And it will be Mountain next as well. This is a pretty good Drake curve, if you look at it. Starting out with the extra move speed right into Infernal, and then the end game Drake of Mountain for the Baron control that we talked about both teams kind of lacking.
Does feel like maybe Echo Fox want to contest a bit more.
Right.
Here's ulti out from Jhin just to poke him out from under the turret. aphromoo tanking bullets to the face.
So it looked like they were trying to zone with that ultimate, but then nobody was really hitting turret during that time. So either you go for a long-range snipe, somebody low, or you try and zone them off and hit the turret, but nobody has really stepped in for the turret damage, and really nothing getting done off of that mid lane push from Echo Fox. So they not having that Jhin ultimate, that's one of the big tools we were talking about, hoping that Echo Fox could set up some sort of long-range play. CLG don't have to worry about that one for a little bit longer. Bard's still pretty threatening on his own with the ultimate to catch someone, but that has to be kind of a mispositioned team-wide mistake.
And again, no Bard ultis yet from Big. He's only level 6. Hasn't been level 6 for that long, but feels like Echo Fox again sort of struggling to beat CLG around the map. Darshan in full flight right now with that Trinity Force ready, although KFO does have his own, so with Xmithie here on the top side, probably the real difference here in that 1v1, and I say that very loosely.
Team game. Tristana back to work. Destroying turrets once again. There's your Bard ult. Oh, good interrupt right there.
Nice knock up. Stixxay gets did as well by the Cosmic Binding, stunned up by Big. aphromoo forced to flash out of the way. Man, Journey gonna take it in, but Darshan diving topside does take out KFO. Lamb's respite pop there by Xmithie, but that's aphromoo blown to pieces.
Death everywhere here. aphromoo goes down as well, and it's a 2-for-1. Echo Fox do come out slightly ahead in bounties off of people's heads, but they did lose the mid lane turret as well. So overall gold exchange in favor of CLG. And they leave around a bunch of wards as well after they're done. So the ward line moving up very deep here for CLG. And they should be able to see the next set of long-range plays that Equifox try and set up. With the Bard Jhin, we did just see them, collapse on mid lane with that Bard ultimate, and it worked out. But KFO dying up on the top side, you may get to see that in this replay. Here's the mid lane play. That was a great interrupt on the rocket jump there. Here's the top lane. It's just Xmithie going in for that dive. He's going to use that Kindred ultimate to negate that last tower shot so he didn't go down. That was the execution on aphromoo we saw after Stixxay went down. So Equifox strike back a little bit, but they're still losing territory.
Yeah.
Even though they're getting kills back, they're losing a lot of real estate on Summoner's Rift.
And that's the nice thing about these sorts of games. Yes, low kills so far, 5 kills in 20 minutes. Certainly not breakneck pace, but the amount of intelligent macro play we're seeing and trade-offs that these teams have to make is actually very elegant. And CLG, especially right now, in complete control for the first 20 minutes.
Definitely is encouraging for CLG fans who remember all these games where CLG had such strong macro play, great lane swaps, and this is where they were earning their advantages in the mid-game objective trading. A bit of a return to style here for CLG, as well as a return to champions, as you mentioned. And it looks like they are feeling much more at home.
That's important. They need to play more like a team. They've said it themselves. Certainly looking on the same page in the early stages of this game. Equifox, though, not even close to being done here. And starting to, I think, warm up a bit, make a few more plays, realize that, yes, we do have some big ultimates. We can try and contest around the areas. But with the way we've seen them play, especially in their wins, they do like to play the map first and everything else later. And with CLG sort of beating them at that game, it'll be interesting to see what points we hit either in this game or in this series, where if that changes at all. Because they are enabled to try and make some plays here. And right now, CLG only getting stronger. Stixxay still back to work with that Ruinous Hurricane. Almost getting that nice 2-item spot.
I kind of feel like Equifox were thrown off a bit by the lane swap, or maybe would have preferred the standard lanes to try and get going a little bit earlier. Because we haven't seen them work around Brand very much. There was the CLG gank on Froggen really early. And after he didn't burn his flash and they took him out, it's been a lot of defensive play from Equifox and not a lot of lane control for them. So they've been struggling to set up those long-range Jhin Bard plays. KFO in the side lanes doing fine in the 1 versus 1, but as soon as it turns to the 1 versus 2,
all the 1 versus 5,
bit more difficult.
Certainly can be. It's Darshan with the red buff actually might be enough to challenge
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna scare off KFO. If not, go for the kill here. Does get the slow from Cutlass.
Yep, shot him already. There's the stun. Red buff's there. KFO gonna try and turn it around. The minion wave's there. KFO doing a decent job, but Darshan stands his ground.
Woohoo! That's how close the matchup between Jax and Irelia. Yeah, if he didn't have that Cutlass there.
Oy.
Hey, they're gonna do for the 2-for-1. This is once again CLG going for the objective on the other side of the map. They just had to play on 3,000 health.
Bard ulti's good. Huhi goes in.
Oh, no. Delaying it. Hard could do it.
Hard going back in for it, but the last Frostbite gonna keep the power alive. Xmithie turning around for the damage. Who's gonna win the smite fight? It is Xmithie that gets him, but Froggen trying to make a play, gets pulverized by Afro. The rest of Equifox, though, leading the charge forward. Stixxay gets himself out of there as a magical journey to chase in. Flash on Burrow for the knockoff. There's a double onto Jhin. CLG, it cost them for that Baron.
It was a little bit greedy for CLG to go for the 2 plays at the same time instead of waiting for the kill and then starting it off. But the split second there is the only reason really Fox came out with an extra kill. But you'll still trade Baron buff for a 2-for-1 kill trade there for CLG, and they're happy to come away with that Baron buff. It was so close though. You don't want it to come down to one of those 50-50s. Everybody's seen this Xmithie play from MSI where you Kindred ultimate the objective you're trying to kill. Hard held onto a smite, I believe. But Xmithie still got it in the end there with some quick
Keith, that's a bad time. Darshan
is gonna get another one.
That's
Oh!
Gonna make it through the portal.
Darshan with some stuff to prove this game. Stepping up in the team play for CLG as well as stepping up individually. Darshan on the Jax now gonna take over. They also have the Baron buff.
And Mountain Drake. Oh, Huhi takes out Froggen. Now looks like Hard's the next target. Huhi gonna chase in. There's the double. The Ryze is good. KFO gets a look in, doesn't really like what he sees, and CLG gonna crack mid.
Yeah, this is gonna be inhibitor down for sure. Let's see if they continue to press. Keep up in 8 seconds on the Jhin.
Gonna Gonna keep going for it though. Stixxay, the demolitionist on Trist. Knocks down that first Nexus turret with just a breeze pretty much. Keith's back.
Keith is.
Huhi again!
Oh,
Keith
Keith is
Keith
down!
goes down. Timid Fate's late there. Gold's up Darshan, but aphromoo
Oh, man, it's murder.
Flushes in back in CLG. Certainly biting back in week number 3. They'll take out this Nexus turret. Stixxay rocket jumps forward to take out Big. That'll be another kill. He eats a fountain laser, but CLG will take the Nexus, and in less than 25 minutes, game 1 is over.
Well then, CLG cleaning up at the end there with Echo Fox marching in one by one. And that was a very clean 24-minute, 45-second finish on game 1 for CLG. Looking better in the team